Hey, Burke. Hey, it's just good to see that you stopped by. Appreciate you. You have a good night. Enjoy that time with your family. All right. Now, the real question is, what am I going to do? I know that at least a couple good friends of mine are streaming right now. Maybe I'll chat with them for a little bit. Who knows? We'll see what happens. Let's see what we can come up with. Hey, Uriah Hammock. Happy New Year. So, you all find me on my second bottle of bubbly. So perhaps at that moment, I am the most suggestible. So we have to figure out what it is I'm going to do with this time after I've watched a few balls drop. And, listen, nobody ever talks about the fact that champagne actually tastes like shit. But damn, is it good. Hassan Khan, how you doing? Now, look, y'all. I have stronger stuff, too. Right now, this is what we're working our way through. But I could be convinced to do shots with supers or bits. And we'll just see how deep the rabbit hole goes. Right now, what I'm going to try to do is hop in for a chat with Universal Discourse and see if they're willing to appreciate my shenanigans.
Ow. Ow. Ah. This is unbelievable.
Fuck you.
Fuck this shit. When we buy this, we have to tell them to open it for us. Huh?
That's definitely something to come into.
What's that?
whatever you all were talking about. Hey,
We
UD,
are
how's it going?
attempting to open a jar and we cannot do it. Hi,
Oh
car.
no.
We can't get
Oh
the
no.
goddamn dip jar open.
Oh God.
Ask me to come over
You,
and
you
sing
know,
for eating all of it, and then find out that it's not even open.
I'd offer you to open it for you, but you'd have to make a pretty long drive just for me to get your French onion dip or whatever it is
Yeah,
open.
exactly what it is.
Hey, listen, when you're drunk, French onion hits different. Let me tell
We're
you
not
what.
even drunk. That's the thing. We didn't buy any alcohol. That's probably why we can't get the damn thing open.
Oh shit. Uh,
Can't do it.
so I'm also streaming right now, and I made the
Oh,
mistake of telling chat that I'm drinking bubbly at the moment, but
woo.
supers and bits will get me to do shots. And Dave, one of my
Oh,
viewers, already came in with the fiver. So,
all
fuck,
right,
I
dude.
gotta go
Wait,
get
wait.
my decanter.
You're not going nowhere. Let's see.
Dave, thank
Car
you.
YZ. We're going to go over and visit you on stream
Yeah.
and flood you with biddies and stuff
Oh no.
till you're completely lit. No, we won't do that to you.
No,
But
listen, I can hold my own, so you're
I
welcome to
know.
try.
We're going to be in chat in just a second. We're laughing our butts off at CTVs that marvel me with your bullshit or be kicked. It's the funniest thing ever. Holy shit. There you are. Hey, yeah.
Hey, holy crap, look at that.
There we are. This is the Goodwill tour.
You're oh, Gina and UD. Y'all are too good. So that's two shots that
Mhm.
I owe you fine folks. So I have to get on it then. All right, let
We will.
me
We're gonna hang out with you for a bit. We're gonna go get some coffee and a hammer, bust this bad boy open. We made it alive and well together, Car.
oh shit.
We did it.
We did make it. And as I always tell people, whoops, I need to change the discussion subject.
We're here
As I
for the
always
drunken
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 shenanigans.
shenanigans.
As I always tell people, the most fucking rebellious thing you can do is fucking survive. Wake up every
Exactly.
day with your middle finger extended to the sky and say, "You did not stop me. I got up another day."
That's it. You know what? The best revenge is success or survival. Boom.
Hey, give me 2 seconds because I left my decanter sitting on the counter.
All right,
I will
we'll be
go
right
get it.
back and visit with
And
you.
you
Ah,
also, your voices are on my stream, so feel free to
lovely.
talk to chat. I'll be right
Uh,
back.
okay, I'll put the cameras on. We'll be right back too. Okay. Suck. Not even good alcoholics and shit. Jesus Christ.
Ugh. All right, I'm back, y'all. I'm back.
Mhm.
See, I said I'd be back quickly, and I am. Because,
Mhm.
all right, so what we got here is, first of all, you get to see one of my Christmas gifts. I have a skull-shaped decanter, and I love it. There's also a stink bug flying around in my studio. The state bird of Ohio, if you didn't know. And I owe Mr. Dave Outlandish a shot. Mmm. For prop, no, I can't say that. Cheers. That's TOS. Shoot the wounded and eat the dead.
Right.
Ah, this is actually Appleton Estate Jamaican rum. Taking it back to the fucking motherland with you fools.
Mhm.
Untitled Anarchist Seagull Channel. Hey, how you doing? All right, listen. UD came in with the dono, so that's another shot. That's a double-barreled blast right off the bat. So now listen. I'm a professional hotep. Do not try this at home, kids. Oh, all right. Fucking praxis, Dave. Okay, listen. I realize since I'm in Discord, I'm also talking on UD's stream now. So everybody listening right now, listen, you have no idea. You are a most powerful insurrectionist because you survived another year. The powers that be would be happy if you didn't wake up today. They would be happy if you decided today to say, fuck it, I'm giving up. But the fact that you are up right now, you are alive. You are a rebel. You fought against the machine. Yeah, Untitled Anarchist. I've been having I've been having this brute champagne, but I busted out the last of the Skull Decanter for which was part of a birthday gift. Well, the Skull Decanter was a Christmas gift. The Appleton Estates rum was a birthday gift, and because December baby, what are you gonna do? And well, basically, I've decided to take that rum and make good use of it, and I think it's gone to good use. It's almost gone. So in the meantime, I'll be sipping this lovely bubbly here. The only way for you to get a Singapore sling is to get COVID or spend 150. Untitled Anarchist. I don't know who still drinks Singapore slings. Do you like Singapore slings? That's awesome. Haven't heard of that one in a while since my Hunter Thompson stand days. All right, so thank you, Untitled Anarchist. I didn't do a birthday stream because I realized that would kind of dox myself and tell everybody the exact date of when my birthday is, and I wasn't feeling that. But I am a December baby, and it was within the last 2 weeks, so we'll say that much. Right now, for anybody joining the call or joining the stream, I am chatting with UD at Universal Discourse. It looks like there's a couple people in call. Oh, yes, Orchid's with us. Well, Orchid's not right here at this moment. And it looks like Gina is with us as well.
Yeah, I'm right here.
Hey, Gina. I don't know if we've
How you
chatted
doing?
before. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good. I
Yeah.
will ask because I am old, but I am woke as well. What are your pronouns, Gina?
She, her, they, them.
She, her, they, them. Okay. I am joined by the great Gina, and basically, I saw earlier that UD was going around and celebrating the new year across multiple time zones, and I said, you know what?
Right.
I spent some time with family, and I even got called into work briefly, made it home before the ball dropped in the East Coast, which is where I am. And then I said, you know what? I want to go live and just see where the wind blows me here. I figured if you all were done streaming, then I would have went and played some video games very poorly because I'm working on Drunken Aim at this point. But yeah. Tell us about yourself. Are you a content creator, Gina?
Yeah, I am. I just generally do like video game content, not political content, because like I guess like the Twitch political space is like kind of shown a little too unnifty to be around a lot of times. So
It's
I just
toxic
do
as
like
fuck.
yeah, toxic and tiresome.
It really is. So, what kind of games
Yeah.
you like to stream?
I like to stream Halo Infinite, Russian Fishing 4, Sekiro,
Holy
Minecraft.
shit.
Yeah.
You just mentioned 2 games I've been playing lately. Halo Infinite and Russian Fishing 4. So,
Oh wow.
I saw Russian Fishing 4 for free on something or other. And I saw that and I'm like, God damn, that just sounds like the most comrade shit I could imagine.
Right.
And I've always said, I even said this on my Twitter, that I hate fishing in real life, but if a video game has fishing mechanics, I will spend like at least 10 hours doing it. Like, I played
Right.
Far Cry 5, and one of the most fun things in that game was the fishing. It's
Oh
great.
yeah.
And
Like I think I pretty much enjoyed like the fishing mechanics in Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess back in the day.
you just mentioned my favorite game of all time, Twilight
Oh
Princess.
wow.
That is the best
Oh,
Zelda game. Hunting for the Twilight Loach, Gina. Did you
Yeah.
catch the Twilight Loach?
No.
I did.
Did you unlock the frog lure?
Oh yeah. Wait, the frog lore? Oh damn, I didn't unlock it.
You didn't do the puzzle game? All 10 levels
I
to get
did.
the frog lure?
I did some of the puzzle games. I don't think I did enough of it though.
Yeah. When you go in the girl who runs the fish hut that rents out the
Mhm.
canoes, she has a little puzzle marble game.
Right.
And if you beat all of the
Mhm.
levels, she'll get you the frog lure as a gift, as an
Right.
award.
Mhm.
And you can use that to aid you in catching the Twilight Loach.
Mhm.
Not to nerd out too hard, but I
All
do
right.
love Zelda video games, and I also, oddly enough, Halo Infinite multiplayer is the only shooter that I actually am effective in. You know, a lot of my
Right.
shooting game friends are big into the CS:GOs and the Valorants and the Apex, and
Right.
I die, and then I got to watch other people play for the rest of the match. Halo, you die, you respawn, and you get back in there. And
Right.
everybody's got a shield. Everybody's got the same health. You know, shit's a lot more balanced. And I think
Right.
I there's times I've had top kills of the match, and
Mhm.
I'm dog shit at shooting games. I'm
Yeah.
terrible. Like I was playing, a friend of mine convinced me while she was streaming the Great Cute Bridge. If any of my
Right.
mutuals are watching, she convinced me to play Valorant with her. And she's like, "Oh no, Car, you didn't place your crosshairs correctly for that, and that's why they
Mhm.
killed you." I'm like, I walked around a corner, and next thing you know, I'm on the death screen. Like,
Right.
Jesus. Halo Infinite is great. We'll have to play Halo sometime.
Right.
Hey, UD's back.
I'm back. Hello.
I've hijacked your stream, UD.
I don't
Normally
care. You
I'm
do
very
it.
humble, but today I'm on the sauce.
That's a good day. You were the person who played the music for Orchid to dance to for the first time, so we're very happy to sit with you because we made it. We're contemplating going on critically thinking veterans,
I like
see how
that.
long I can last on
The
his.
we gotta support progressive veteran content creators because
Yes.
the right has had such an inroad
Hmm.
to the military space that
Yeah.
anytime you have people, because here's the thing I understand, because the
Mhm.
company I work for directly targets their recruiting towards veterans. We're private sector, but they really like to hire vets, which is good because a lot of vets
Uh-huh.
do struggle in the civilian job market when they come out. But I've learned that they will listen much more if it's coming from someone else who has been in the shit, someone else who has been in the
Yeah.
trenches, someone else who has
Yeah.
seen the bureaucracy and all of the little things. And military
Yeah.
history was my minor in college, and
Huh.
I love stories about the military. Hey, Dave Outlandish, thank you for the $5 super. I owe you a shot now. So you get to see my Christmas gift. It's a skull shaped
Aw.
decanter because you can't have enough skulls.
Ooh.
UD. And
Ooh.
so this is an Italian crystal glass. This is a skull shaped decanter, and the wet stuff goes in the glass stuff. And ooh, Bob's your uncle. So,
Wow.
um,
Oh, that is so cool.
it's I think that anyone in the veteran space, I know you're a vet, I know that left flank vets do really good work, and they're
Mhm.
they're more extreme than people give them credit for, because a lot of them
They
are
are.
like talking about like abolish the Pentagon, shit that people
Yeah,
don't
they're
even think
very
about.
radical.
They're
Yeah.
like, hey, let's stop for a second and think. do we need the military apparatus at all as it currently exists in its current state? You know, and I am gonna ask. I am gonna and Chad is saying, yeah, we need to reach vets. I agree. For the other reason is that I believe our revolution at some point will involve some kind of violence,
Mm-hmm.
and so there's definitely a lack or a brain drain, if you will, on our end of people with tactical backgrounds. Whereas I know that you have seen, people like you have seen what happens when things get loud and you know what to do. I think we had a great evening chatting about
Yeah, we
Gaddafi,
did.
and you
Oh my
talked
gosh,
about
yeah.
running into some of his fuck boys in the
Oh
United
yeah.
States.
Mm-hmm. In the United States.
In the fucking continental United States.
Yeah.
So we it's New Year's, and just finished gift exchange with my friends, so I have to at least talk about how great my friends are. My friend made me this needlepoint. Look at this
Mm-hmm.
shit.
I
This is
know.
great. She made a
Well, we
needle.
made it though. We had a great New Year's Eve stream. Um, we sent invites. Everybody checked in, even if they couldn't make it. They all said hello. It was awesome. I think you piped in, and it was just, we've made so many friends.
You were amazing. I was actually trying to get your attention in chat for so long. I was like, Yuri, Yuri.
Yuri, Yuri, you have VIP to the voice chat, so you don't have to sit and chat. You can just
I
get on.
know. I hate to just jump in and be like, hey, here's this loud black dude from Ohio jumping in
Well,
and bogarting the voice chat.
that's fine. That's what VIP means. It's like, no, please. You know, it's always a delight when you stop by. We're like, oh, you're here. Thank you. Oh my God. You just make everything better. You're just one of those people.
Oh, thank you.
Everything
You
better
you
all the
flatter
time.
me too much.
Well, no, it's true. Because I don't, you know, I don't make things up.
Oh goodness, my bubbly is nearing the end here. All right.
Uh-oh.
Hold on, my drink is broken. I need to fix it.
Alcohol abuse. You broke it.
Mm. Right. So this was a birthday gift too. This is a glass, and you'll notice, those of you who are seeing my cam, it has a very weird little beveled shape here. It's a glass
Uh-huh.
with a little notch to hold your cigar. Yeah,
Huh.
right? That's
Mm-hmm.
awesome. So I can like perch my cigar on the side of my whiskey glass.
Holy shit.
Right?
That's
Yeah,
freaking
my
cool.
mother-in-law got that for me, and she was super excited about it, and I'm super excited about it because it was an amazing gift.
Awesome.
Yes, yes, yes.
We didn't get gifts so much. We got some care packages, but our gift to ourselves was to sleep. We slept
Yes,
through
rest
Christmas.
is resistance. And whatever way that you can to get through the fucking holiday bullshit in a positive manner, and you come out on the other end feeling positive instead of negative, that is a net gain. It's I think we need to step back in
Mm-hmm.
America and think about what we're doing to ourselves with the holidays,
Mm-hmm.
because it's become fucking just a capitalist goddamn nightmare. And so we got to stop and say, hey, let's find a way to engage with it that isn't giving us fucking anxiety, that isn't giving us financial anxiety, that isn't giving us family anxiety, things like that. And I'm sorry if I am talking too much or talking over everyone else in
Not at
chat.
all.
Please interrupt me if I am. If I'm hitting the sauce, then I tend to talk like a Gatling gun.
I'm enjoying every word.
Yes, Rappy, it is a good pen holder. It's also a good holder for my teaspoon. I have a certain cup that I use for my tea, a certain mug, and it came with this little stirring spoon with it, and it also holds that as well. Not that I need to put my teaspoon with a whiskey glass, but who knows? Maybe it's an old fashioned, and I want to stir the sugar up a little bit. I don't know. What y'all drinking over there, UD?
We had Cabernet Sauvignon.
You like wine?
Oh yeah, we had some very potent fruit of the vine there,
Where's
and
it
it
from?
knocked us on our butts. Yeah.
Where was it
Yeah.
from?
I don't know. I don't even know where the bottle is, but I know it's California.
So
And it
that's
was some reserve, and uh, I was like, potent. Holy shit. It was definitely a sipping situation, and we didn't quite know that, so we just glugged it and went, uh-oh.
that's the
So,
only time I'll showcase any kind of pride in Turtle Island or the so-called Americas is that there's a few alcoholic beverages we do better than anyone else. I will
yep.
not be taking questions. I have tasted the rest of Europe's attempts at bourbon. I'm
Uh-huh.
sorry, you all are terrible. You can't make
Right.
bourbon. And
Right.
you'll get some foppish, pretentious
Right.
Frenchmen talking about their wine or Italians talking about their Prosecco or their champagne. Nah, listen, the
Mm-mm.
best fruit of the vine comes from fucking California.
Oh,
Listen,
Napa Valley all the
Napa
way.
Valley is carved out. That's God's country.
It
He
is.
carved that out and said, this is where the best wine in the world is going to come from. You plant the grapes here, and they're going to be enchanted. They're going to be enchanted by the soil. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And the best cheese comes from fucking
Mm-hmm.
Wisconsin. All right. Come
Mm-hmm.
fight
Mm-hmm.
me.
It's Bacchus. Bacchus came down and went, let there
Yep.
be wine. They do the Pinot Grigio, with the way they do it is they pick it with a rind still on it. Like for
Ooh.
instance, uh-huh. And oof. And
The
it's meant
rind
to
makes it
enjoy
strong.
it.
The rind is
It's
a strong flavor.
That's right. I think they are. I understood that they're the only ones that do that, and it is meant to sip and enjoy all the evening. It's an elegant beverage.
Yeah, it's it's not a table wine. It's a
No,
sipping wine. It's the flavor is very strong. You're
very.
supposed to oh, see, I have people in my chat wanting to throw down. One person saying Aussie wine is better. You know what? Listen,
Oh,
no.
maybe. I've had some Aussie wine. Um,
Aussie has good grapes.
don't
Australia
they
has
do
good grapes.
Shiraz? They do Shiraz.
They do make a good Shiraz. I
Absolutely.
I would think though there's some better California Shiraz. Um, I would say the Georgia, the country, someone mentioned, does make good wine and quite possibly may have been the inventor of wine historically. But listen here, California wine in terms of any organized competition wins,
Hmm.
right?
Wins.
Yeah, because Napa Valley is just unbeatable in terms of climate, soil acidity, and elevation. Now, this is not to say that they don't make good alcoholic beverages in Europe. Listen,
Of
I've
course.
had American style in the fashion of Scotch, and they fuck it
Hmm.
up.
Hmm.
They don't have the Highlands. They don't have the
That's
peat
right.
bogs, the peat
Right.
boogs, and
Right.
so they can't do Scotch.
You know what other drink they can't make?
I would say herbal liqueurs, but go ahead.
No, believe it or not, and this is because of they hate Russia. They cannot make a screwdriver to save their lives. But if there's anything more traditional, it's potato vodka and orange juice. That's Russian.
I
That's
would
that's
say
Catherine the Great era Russia, and they cannot make one to save their lives.
while I say that there are some good American vodkas, there's a California vodka called Hanger, like an airplane hanger, that was made by a couple bros in their garage. That's pretty fucking good. However, I would never hold it up against even some of the most basic Russian vodkas, like Russian Standard.
Folly,
Right, and even
folly.
Stoli is a
Yeah,
fairly cheap brand, but is better than some of the more expensive American vodkas. Like
it's true.
I
Holy
had
Stoli. Yeah, exactly.
vodka used to be my drink, my libation of choice goes through evolutions over time. And so there was a time where I was a vodka man. Like I worked at a place and I spent basically 40 hours straight on the clock, and my boss came to me and said, he's like, dude, we have worked ourselves to the bone. He's like, this is unconscionable. He's like, hey, what's your favorite liquor? Just randomly. And I said, hey, I'm a vodka man. This was in my early 20s. And out of no, I go back to work because he walked away. Out of nowhere, he comes back and sets a brown bag on my table. And he literally drove across the fucking county to a liquor store to buy me Hanger vodka. I lived in California at the time, and it's made and bottled in California. But yeah, that was amazing. But vodka
Wow.
is Russian, and Russians
It is.
understand vodka because the
Yep.
original purpose of vodka was to be as close to water as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And they get that. They understand that you're basically making alcoholic water,
Mm-hmm.
and
It's
that's the
exactly what it
purpose
tastes
of
like.
vodka. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's what it should be. So, people in my chat are talking about beer. I see. Here's the thing: I can be biased about my homegrown beer because I Ohio is a former German colony, and so we have a long history of German breweries here in Ohio, especially here in Cincinnati. So we have some of the best craft brew in the country. We're basically a tourist destination for all of our craft breweries. So I think we make pretty good beer. And so one person mentioned Belarus makes good vodka too.
Yeah.
I've never been to Belarus, but you want to know something interesting? I was on the wrestling team in high school, and every year Belarus, Russia hosted an invitational wrestling tournament for high school aged competitors. And one of my friends actually got to go to Belarus. And what they would do when they were over there, as sort of a souvenir, they would trade their singlet, basically their wrestling uniform, their tights, with find someone to trade with at the end of the tournament from another country so they could show off when they got back. Oh, I got a fucking Bratislavan wrestling singlet or uniform.
Uh-huh.
I got a fucking Catalonian wrestling uniform. It was an international tournament. Anyway,
Wow.
uh
A wrestling uniform from Catalan.
yeah, US beers are
Huh.
not all
Holy
weak
shit.
because believe it or not, Old Rasputin is bottled in the United States, and Old Rasputin is 9% alcohol by volume. As
Ah!
opposed to a 6 pack, they sell it in a 4 pack, and you will only need four. Trust
No,
me.
yeah. One,
It's a
my little
Russian
lightweight
Imperial
ass,
Stout.
please. I can't. I'm like one screwdriver, and you have to take me home because I'll just keep going because I get so hooked up on it. And I just want to dance and I get real aggressive. It's amazing.
I used to
It's
love screwdrivers. I really did. I had a bad
I like white
experience.
rice.
I probably drank a little too much acid. So I was at my friend's house. He lived on a house on campus at our
Uh-huh.
nearby public college,
Yeah.
and he said, "Hey, let's walk to the pub. Let's walk to the bar, and let's get drunk."
Uh-oh.
And so while I'm there at the time, I was a vodka drinker. I didn't want to do shots, so I did screwdrivers, and I did 5 of the things. And afterwards, they're like, well, we've been drinking a lot. We need some food. So they
Yeah.
ordered
Ugh.
from an
No.
all-night pizzeria.
Yep, naturally.
And that grease and that
Yeah.
acid met each
Bleh.
other in my gut.
Oh. Oh.
And so I'm just
Ugh.
huddled in the corner the whole night, just holding my stomach, like, So ever since then, I realized, like, I don't need that much acid in my gut
No.
at any given time.
You need to eat before you drink.
That's what I did today. Part of my holiday tradition is, well, I'm starting it, and it's always been that way. My family, they love to get veggie trays and meat trays. They call it a relish tray.
Yeah.
I borrowed a book from a friend about charcuterie, like a
Uh-huh.
European book on how to make charcuterie boards. So I've started making my own charcuterie boards. I was gifted last year a set of wooden cutting boards,
Uh-huh.
and so we were pre-gaming on food the whole day. So I've had Genoa salami, chorizo, smoked chorizo, sausage, fucking cheese. So I made sure that, and I've probably had a gallon of water today. But yeah, I agree. You got to eat. You,
Or drink water and take potassium and go out drinking. It'll make a big difference.
you understand it. You get it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
important to
Oh yeah.
prep your body, and,
Yep.
and to offer everybody. Oh, somebody said absinthe is my absolute favorite in
I
the chat.
love absinthe.
Absinthe, it's the
Holy
fucking
absinthe.
shit. Okay,
I even
listen.
know how to do it properly.
You know
where
how to
cook it
loosh?
up in a spoon. Yeah.
You know how to do the loosh, the drip?
Oh yeah.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
Oh yeah.
so
I love it.
I
It
was
makes you so giggly and kind of beautiful.
yes, I was gonna talk about my pregame method, but from my early
Um,
20s, but
you have a person in your Twitch chat, the good Morty.
yes,
Okay.
yeah, the good Morty.
Yeah.
He's got the one good Rick. We talked about this previously.
He said it's good to see you.
Yes, thank you, the good Morty. So basically, I discovered absinthe in my early 20s. At the
Mm-hmm.
time where a lot of it was still it had just been unbanned in the United States and 100 countries. Now,
Yeah.
at the time, a New York-based bottler had released a brand called Lucid that
Lucid.
had the full amount of wormwood in it.
Uh-huh.
Lucid's
Uh-huh.
really good. Lucid is really,
Uh-huh.
really good. And they had really pretty girls dressed as fairies at their launch party.
That's right. That's how you do it.
And so I Googled this shit, right? And because, I'd seen movies talking about how elusive this stuff was. And I learned about how to loosh it over a spoon with the sugar
Mm-hmm.
cube. And the
Mm-hmm.
loosh is, the drip is really good. On a dare, I used to do shots of this shit, even though it was 124 proof.
Mm-hmm.
And it fucking hurts.
Well,
But
see,
it got to
you
the
don't
point.
abuse the absinthe, and the absinthe won't abuse you.
I went to a party at the age of like 22, and I had it was a party. You're 22, kids like to get really recklessly drunk. So I had went to the liquor store before the party. I got two things. I got Black House Black Cherry liqueur, which is one of the few liqueurs that's 40 proof,
Right.
and or 40 alcohol by volume, 80 proof. And I got Lucid absinthe. And I went to the party, and the girl who was hosting it at her house in her basement, she's like, wow. She's like, I was actually about to tell you to not bring that. That's how fucked up that shit would get us. Because that if you make the French drip and the French method, that shit will get you going. That nice little black licorice flavor. You'll just keep pounding back those things. I was literally about to click buy on Amazon at the time for a absinthe fountain where you could set up 4 goblets and it would drip ice water over 4 goblets to make 4 drips at once. That's
Mm-hmm.
how much I drank the shit. And I love absinthe.
I
But
love absinthe.
going back, and someone in the chat mentioned you should try rum and coke. I've had many. I don't drink that much sugar with alcohol normally now because it leads to bad hangovers. Unfortunately, I am getting old. I am 34. But it
Oh.
used to be, sadly, in my toxic masculinity days, Um, I because when I was 23 years old, I moved into a frat house briefly because I was trying to go back to college, and it was near the college, and it was a brother of a friend of mine, and so I was kind of trying to also have my college experience, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
um, and I told those guys, I'm like, look, even in the
Wie geht's, Freya? Wie
Mhm.
geht es Ihnen? All the way
Sorry.
from Germany. Happy New Year, Freya T.
Hey, thank you, Freya. Happy New Year. It is in fact a gute Nacht. All right.
Von Neuer Jahr.
UD
Yes.
is the linguist. I
No, I just grew up with German.
I dropped out of Spanish, so
Bon
I
année.
because I was a bit of a toxic male.
Ooh.
I wanted to make sure that if I was drinking, I made sure to show up everybody else who was present. So I would go
Oh,
to like a drive-through, usually McDonald's, but Wendy's or Burger King or whatever, and I'd get like 4 or 5 double cheeseburgers, and I would just fucking eat them. And I'd just pound all these burgers just to make sure I padded my system so that I could go and I could challenge people to match me shot for shot, and I know they would lose. I would do 10, 12, 15 shots. They would be, I told my dad this story actually. I remember one person said, "Oh, I'll match you shot for shot." And I said, "You're going to fucking die if you try." Dude is on shot 11 and hasn't finished it. He's holding it in his hand. He's holding shot 11 in his hand. I already did shot 12. And he's like, "Oh, dude, no, I can't do it anymore." I'm like, "Really? You're a pussy." And I told him, and he got up and left. And I took his shot, and I did it myself, and then I did mine that I had already poured in front of me. And I told everybody there around us. It was going like, "Ooh," and I'm like, "That's why you don't fuck with me."
mm.
Now listen, you all. Oh, somebody said Froz Nues Jar. You know, I wish I learned German, but German, they combine words arbitrarily, and it's hard for me to follow.
It's how English got done.
I know, I know. It's funny because for people coming from the Romantic languages, English is tricky to learn, but for people who speak English and haven't been exposed to any other languages, every other language is hard to learn. Have you ever experienced Danish, UD?
Yeah.
It's fucking alien. It's moon speak. They'll put 2 or 3 L's together for no reason. Someone told me it's not arbitrary, it's just based on stupid rules. Listen, you want to talk stupid rules, let's talk modern English, all right? I before E, except after C. Now, do you know how many exceptions there are to that rule? Yeah. English is a language of bastards and barbarians. Let me tell you.
Bastards and barbarians. Wow.
Sorry, I listen. You will never find any love lost between me and early Europeans.
Okay. 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 English.
Now, have you ever, UD? This is a question for you. Have you ever
Okay.
done any research into decoding Kemetic hieroglyphs?
Kemetic? Kemetic, yes. When I first start, my first degree was paleoarchaeology and cryptology. So that's the first thing you start with.
Wait, Training in
um,
cryptology is hieroglyphs.
all of us start with those because it's the thing we all want to know. But where my interest was in Sumerian, which hasn't fully been, um, translated yet.
So, if we're talking Sumerian, let's go further back and look at scrimshaw, which had been used, at least in some cases, to also convey language and phonetics. Now, the reason I bring up
Crenshaw is carved whalebone. So you mean
Yes.
Sanskrit?
Yeah, Sanskrit. Because
Okay.
Sanskrit,
So,
a symbol can mean a phrase, a
Mhm.
symbol can mean a sound,
Mhm.
a symbol can mean a word.
Mhm.
Similarly with hieroglyphs.
Mhm.
So when
Mhm.
when the reason, for instance, the famous translation and teaching software is called Rosetta Stone,
Yeah.
is because English speaking people found a stone that had 3 languages on it
Right.
that remained intact,
Right.
and
Right.
they were able to find a word that was repeated among those 3 languages,
And they
and
found their cartouche. Yeah. And they were. Yeah. I
they were
love
able to
that story.
translate off of a cartouche that they were able to recognize as
The
a
name.
pattern. And
They
that's
got the name.
because in Kemetic, a symbol that you see, a cartouche, can be a word, it can be a phrase, or it can be just a sound. It can be a vowel sound.
Mm-hmm.
So I admit, as a bad hotep, because I don't know ancient Kemetic and I don't know hieroglyphs, but I've always been curious to talk to people who have done any study on that. It's interesting that for English or for Anglophones, that it's training for cryptography.
That's what we do.
Has anybody
When we
solved Kryptos, the sculpture in front of the NSA or whatever?
solved cryptos?
There's a sculpture in front of one of those clandestine organizations offices that has 4 sections. Boom, 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 boom. That's all written in a created code.
Huh.
And supposedly, to my knowledge, and I'm Googling furiously as we speak, it hasn't been solved.
Throw me a link. I'll look at it.
And the artist called it Kryptos. Now, it has 4 sections, 4 messages. It was made by an artist named Jim Sanborn in 1990. It's located in Langley, Virginia. Supposedly 3 out of 4 messages have been decrypted.
Oh, okay.
And according to Wikipedia, the 4th message remains one of the most famous unsolved codes in the world.
Ever? Do we have a link to that? Let me see it.
I'm going to go to Discord and put in a link as soon as
Discord.
down here. I don't know which chat channel should I put this in for you.
For me, research lessons.
Research lessons.
If you can post in there. Other than that, it'd be in left of center.
So I've been hitting the sauce. So under what area is research lessons?
That comes under announcements. It's at the very top.
Very top. Very
Under
beautiful.
information section.
I can post in there, and I did post in there the Wikipedia
There you
page for Kryptos. So
Then you
have
have
at
full
it.
permission. Okay.
I do have full perms.
Oh, here we
So-
go. Oh, okay.
Supposedly the 4th section of Kryptos, I guess every section was written in a new lingua, in a new language.
Yeah.
And 3 sections have been translated. The 4th remains a very popular unsolved mystery.
Okay, I can see the whole thing, and it's just using English orthography, Roman orthography.
Yeah. People in my chat, listen. I will let's go through your messages here. I see you all. Freya said, "I'm fairly confident most people here don't speak Greek, so most of us are actually barbarians." One person said, "I don't know the German version of gender." since Geschlecht is sex and gender in one.
Geschlecht.
Geschlecht.
Okay.
Everything I know about German I learned from Rammstein songs, rappies.
Cosmic Supply. Right.
I know that my favorite album by them, Mutter, means
Yeah.
mother. So,
Mutter.
because one of
Mutter.
the title track on Mutter, is about how he's a clone and he basically bemoans not having a mother. Very,
Right.
very post-human.
Oh yeah.
Could be kind of confused with something else.
I'm doing potato chip ASMR.
Misophonia. Yes. I love the crunching. People with misophonia wouldn't like it, but I actually like
Oh, really?
hearing people's mouth sounds in chat.
Yeah, me too.
The word.
Mouth sounds.
So we have some German folks going back and forth in chat. The word for sex and gender,
Good.
otherwise, is just Geschlecht or sex. Geschlechtsverkehr in the case of intercourse. Okay. Yeah. German is such an acrobatic language for the English
Geschlecht.
tongue.
Yeah. Sex and gender is the same word. Geschlecht.
I hope I haven't been blowing out your other VC participants. Gina, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still there.
You want to say?
Mm-hmm. Hey, EO.
No, other than
I got EO in
do,
mine. Hey, yo.
Other than I do like a good Pinot Noir, honestly.
Pinot Noir.
Yeah.
Right on for you. That's a good wine.
Right. Yeah, I've just been like working on thumbnails for Stardust. So.
Yeah, Gina's doing Gina's doing the thumbnails and the what else?
And the editing
Stardust,
as well.
the streamer.
And the edit.
Yeah, the Stardust, the streamer.
I was on a panel with her. She is hilarious.
She's pretty funny.
Indian, if I'm not mistaken, right? Like,
yeah, she's funny.
Yeah.
I was just.
She has a good grasp of the absolute absurd, the sublime absurd.
So, I had a very American moment because we love Indian food, right? So, normally in restaurants is where we get the best curry. We once went to an Indian grocer. It was a very great experience, and it was interesting seeing imagery of Ganesh portrayed on like products and things like that. And I was thinking out loud. I'm like, wow, this is a lot to keep up with. And there was an Indian woman in the aisle, and she's like, well, yes, there's the head was cut off, and this person had an elephant nearby, so they took an elephant head and they put it on this person to replace their head. And I'm like, that's a lot to keep up with. And she's like, well, we're taught this from a young age. And I'm like, it's interesting from a non-Christian perspective to hear the tales and mythology that you're taught from a very young age. Because
and how
every Indian person
all
knows
relevant.
this.
It's all relevant to everyday life.
And it's props to the video game Smite that uses gods from a variety of pantheons to being one of the few pop culture things out there that bothers to teach anybody anything about gods and deities from other pantheons. And it's interesting to see the philosophy of other pantheons where they're just like, oh, okay, this person's head was cut off, so this person took an elephant head and put it on their neck instead, and so that works.
Yeah.
I have a story for you, UD. You'll be proud of me. I had the opportunity because for Halloween, you probably saw my video, maybe you didn't. I decided to invoke Baron Samedi.
I'd love to see it. I didn't see it. Oh my god.
Nobody seemed to have seen it. I made a video called Death where I painted my face like Baron Samedi.
Yeah.
and I talked about death. Matter of fact, me and Rogue had a chat on stream, if you'll recall, about
Yeah.
death,
Yep.
and with you. And
Mhm.
I went to a party with that get up on, and
Right.
I had some people who were genuinely interested in witchcraft and things like that ask me about Haitian voodoo, and tell me that's something I wanted to get into, and
Mhm.
he said they didn't know anything about it. So I told him what little bit I know about study, and I said, well, you really need to memorize the vivis, and
The
be
babies,
able.
right?
You need to memorize all of the symbols for all of the loa.
Mhm.
And if you wish to invoke the Baron, you have to mark his vive in the sand.
Mhm.
And, obviously be cautious because he will beg you to stay.
Mhm.
He will tell you one more track on the record. He'll ask you for one more cigar. He'll ask you for one more glass of rum, one more track on the record, one more dance. But obviously, as with all things death, and we talked about this with indigenous culture, the dead need to go. They need to go
Mhm.
to the next land.
They have their own village.
You need to tell
They have
them
things they need to do.
it's time to
Mhm.
go.
It's
They
time to
don't
go.
need to stick around.
That's what the broom is for.
And so I said, the Baron will try to stick around. You
Oh yeah.
need to make him leave. And so it was an interesting conversation because she's like, oh, wow. She's like, really? So I don't want to have him linger. I'm like, no, that's bad.
That's bad.
He's going to try to stay, and you need to tell him, okay, your work is done. You
Mhm.
need to go. You need to leave now. And I remembered what you told me about your people ancestrally, and how you would pick up and move, because you said your war dead, they need to go. They need to move
Mhm.
on. They have other things to do. And that's why you moved, to show
Mhm.
them that they should not linger. They need
Correct.
to go.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
some Freya in Twitch chat says, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't voodoo a syncretism between African traditions and Catholicism? You are absolutely correct, Freya T. So
But that is Haitian voodoo. But
Haitian,
originally, no, it's Ifa.
yeah, it's
It's
Ifa.
from Yoruba.
Yes, so it's from Yoruba. Yes and no. So
Yes and no.
Haitian voodoo is loosely, very loosely, inspired by the West African Yoruban Vodun. Okay, so the Loa and the Gedes of Haitian voodoo are inspired by the West African deities. And yes, it is inspired by Catholic. Well, it's not so much inspired by Catholicism as it is married to Catholicism, because keep in mind, Haitian voodoo was created while in bondage. So they were not allowed to practice openly their West African or Yoruban religions. So what they had to do is create equivalents among the Catholic saints for their Loa. So every Haitian Vodun Loa or Gede is represented by a Catholic saint. This is part of the reason why there are even white Loa represented. There are European Loa represented in Haitian Voodoo, like Maman Brigitte or Brigitte.
Mama Brigitte. That
Yes.
is
Maman
also they
Brigitte is
consider
Irish.
red-haired.
She has red hair, she's white, and she wears Victorian clothing.
Yep. They consider that
She's foul-mouthed too, and loves rum that has been infused with hot peppers.
yep. Exactly.
It's funny too, because my garden this past year, I grew super hot peppers. So I grew Carolina Reapers and Trinidad Scorpions and ghost peppers. And I tried to make my own infused rum. It doesn't actually taste good.
No. It's pretty
It's
yeah.
harsh. So the practitioners who invoke Maman Brigitte have to have a very strong constitution to drink that shit.
That's true.
Usually,
That's true.
I think most opt to offer it in offering
Hmm.
rather than drink it directly because it's rough.
You put it up there with the other things that they like and by their statuary. So, and it said that Marie Laveau, when she died, becomes Mama Brigitte. So you also have it's the spirit in the stone, and these sort of manifestations.
And you see
You
it
know.
in Santeria as well.
Absolutely.
So La Muerte, it has a saint, has a Catholic saint representative as well, and there's two patron saints of death that are represented in among the Santero practice, and at least I tried.
Hmm. And originally there were Zombie or Samdi and his brother.
And credit must be given. There's two origins to the concept of zombies, and they both come from black people,
Yes.
right? The word zombie comes from Haitians. The concept
Zombie
of
himself.
undead walking amongst the living, and the concept of a horror story comes from Kemet, or the Egyptians, believe it or not.
Kemet. Yeah.
Way back when, in Kemet, Egyptians used to put on plays suggesting that the mummies would walk among the people. These were seen as entertainment. This is zombie stories and mummy stories 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 years ago. And then,
Now,
yes.
Zombie, Baron Samdi, or Zombie, his name is actually Zombie.
Yes.
And so if you're
Zombies.
Zombie, that means you belong to him. What has happened is you've broken some kind of promise. And what he's done is he's dug a grave, had you dig it, put you in it, and when he dug you up, his brother digs you up. Cimetière, the Baron of the Crossroads.
Baron Lacroix.
And Lacroix. And they've dug you up, and you're his slave for 7 years. And then after that, whether you live or die, that's up to you. So the tradition seems to be like it's quite, what do you want to say? It's based in reality.
Yes. So the term zombie comes from the Haitian diaspora. And the idea of the undead walking amongst the living can be traced all the way back to Kemet. And Kemet is one of the oldest documented cultures on the planet. It predates ancient China, even. And China is impressive, don't get me wrong. They have 5,000 years of written history. Kemet has 6,000 or 7,000. Because you got to remember, at one point in time, the only people who were taught to read and write were the priests in Kemet. And it was their job to document history and the glory of the pharaohs.
The stories
The
of
reason that you know the name Tutankhamen, the reason that you know the name Sheba, is because of Kemetic priests. And that is something that a lot of people don't know. Also, Rappy, you're talking about religion, omnipotence, omniscient. Keep in mind, I was raised Southern Baptist, so the third one that you're thinking of is omnipresent. The Holy Trinity is considered omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent. God is all-knowing, all-seeing, and all-present. He is everywhere. That is the essence
sorry to
of the
interrupt.
Holy Trinity. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt, but I'm gonna have to crash tonight. That probably is the only chance I'm ever gonna get to fix a sleep schedule. So I'll see you guys next time.
Gina, thank you for joining. Sorry for bogarting the VC. I think.
Oh, it doesn't matter. It's fine.
We absolutely got to play Halo Infinite sometime. I'm gonna find you on Twitch and follow you.
There you
by
go.
all means.
Okay,
All right, I'll
Gina.
see you next time.
We'll have a
We'll
Lefty
see you
Halo
next
chat.
year.
Take care.
Yeah, take care. Goodbye.
2020
Bye.
Part 3!
Yeah!
Yeah! Hell yeah!
2020 Part 3. Oh my god. We made it. I don't even know how. Holy shit.
Now, it's funny that Rappi is in chat because we just came off of Christmas. And the majority of the Anglophone world, the way they celebrate Christmas is heavily influenced by Germanic and pagan culture. Saturnalia is pagan, and Yule and some parts of it are Germanic.
Sure. You know, Santa Claus is
Saint
a
Nicholas.
shaman for the Laplander people.
Now, if I'm not
His whole
mistaken,
thing of mushrooms and reindeer was and gifts. Yeah, that was his whole tradition.
if I'm not mistaken, Saint Nicholas is also the patron saint of sex workers.
Oh, really?
Well, listen, the Catholics made a patron saint for everything. So, I'm not sure, but I thought maybe it's either Saint Nicholas or Saint Valentine. But I thought
Saint Valentine, I would have thought.
I have to look that up because they gave their patron saints a bunch of different roles, if you will.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, I am a little bit tipsy. His name is Saint Nicholas of Myra. Saint Nicholas of Bari. He was this was a person who lived. This was an actual person. It's documented. And he lived in the maritime city of Myra in Asia Minor. He has a Greek name as well, which I can't read Greek, so I can't say it. He has several miracles attributed to him, to the point where he has the name Nicholas the Wonder Worker. Going off of
Miracle worker.
Googling. Yeah, Wonder Worker, Miracle Worker. Patron saint of sailors, merchants, archers, repentant thieves, children, brewers, pawnbrokers, unmarried people, and students in the various cities. Okay, so maybe I'm wrong. And countries around Europe. Reputation evolved among the pious, and his legendary habit of secret gift giving gave rise to the traditional model of Santa Claus. Saint Nick, through Sinterklaas, which again, there's that German. Sinterklaas. Yeah, unfortunately though, the problem you run into with a lot of European accounts is that his actual personal life is not very well documented because, well, fuck, he was a German peasant born God knows how many hundred years ago. So he was probably very poor, and his life was not all that remarkable. So it probably didn't warrant recording.
Well, some aspects of as the Romans expand a long time ago, some aspects of the people they encountered wove their way in. And the Romans were great for cultural misappropriation.
Absorption.
I mean, they were perfect for that. I mean, they would totally just, everything about them was from someone else, yet they kind of rebranded it.
Here's a question for you. At what point did Romans be considered Europeans? Because they weren't always.
Oh, no. There had to be a Europa first for them to be considered Europeans.
Now, let me ask you also, because I love
They weren't calling it Europa then. So. Yeah.
Your people.
Cree?
Akkadian Cree.
Akkadian Cree.
Did they have their own calendar?
No. We had moons, so we have 13.
Okay. 13
All right,
moons
so
in a, what we would call a year.
in a year, yeah.
Okay. So when did they celebrate the new year? Would you say?
Winter. Winter. The same as you. If you've survived the winter, literally, that's a new year.
So you could say that many cultures around the world saw the winter as that time of reset where it's dark, it's cold, your crops die.
Mhm.
If you survive that, it's
It
time to
isn't.
celebrate and be refreshed, be
Absolutely.
renewed,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
procreate, if you will.
Which is why the spring festivals are so important.
Are spring festivals important among indigenous people?
Well, we don't have a spring festival well, where we live. Oh gosh. Um,
See, I love to learn because
you don't
indigenous
we don't
voices are.
plant. Yeah, we don't plant. So we don't have that kind of May Day harvest. We do that in October, and we have a summer festival when the 4 months where it's warm and everything's thawed, mainly. So we have what's called a Thunderbird ceremony, and that's where we celebrate creation.
Okay.
Like 6 weeks long.
For the dozenth tangent of the stream.
Oh no.
This okay. This is something you can answer.
Hopefully.
I'm in Cincinnati, Ohio. Now,
Mm.
for whatever reason, the school district I grew up in, which is way out in a suburb outside of our county, but outsiders would consider it a suburb of Cincinnati, since that's the nearest major city, a rapidly growing suburb. They named their school district Lakota, and their mascot is the Firebird.
Okay.
Now this school district split at one point, and the other school in the school district, or the other school district, if you will, called themselves the Thunderbird. So let me ask you, what is the Firebird? What is the Thunderbird?
The um their choice of Firebird, I mean, I'm not sure. It sounds like they meant to refer to the phoenix that rises from the ashes.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
going to
that's a
assume that's
European
their
thing, isn't
choice.
it?
I know, but that sounds like what they obviously just slapped stuff together. But the Thunderbird is called PACU, and he looks like this emote is the Thunderbird. If it'll show
I'm
up in chat,
going to look
this
on
is the
Twitch.
Thunderbird. It's in your chat.
So, what is
So
the
the
belief is
Thunderbird.
that thunder is brought about by a being,
Uh,
or
the
correct
the
me. Go ahead and
Thunderbird.
correct me.
The Thunderbird is like a manifestation of creation itself. The Thunderbird arrives in the summer when the storms kick in. So it is heralded by thunderclouds, rain showers, and it's a very good thing because where we lived in the summer, the brush would catch fire. So the Thunderbird is always associated with these thunderstorms, which cools the earth, replenishes everything. So the way it's depicted is the way you see it here in that emote. And it's not worshipped, it's not a thing to worship, it's just creation itself. And so often you'll see one of these on top of a totem pole because all creation stands over everyone. And his name is PACU. And it's the part of the great mystery, and it's larger than anything. It's more powerful than anything. It's completely unknown and unknowable. And this is the thing that you dance to. Dancing is praying. So when you want to pray, you dance and you say, you do not ask a thunderbird for something. You thank it for being alive and well. But you never ask a thunderbird for any. Creation is saying everything you need is already here. What is wrong with you that you need more?
Wow. Well then.
That's what PAC, that's what the Thunderbird is. It also is associated with what's called the rain dance, which Cree women did, which became the men's sun dance.
This is to help your crops.
No.
You need rain, or
When you need rain, yeah, or if there's been a great illness, like an outbreak,
So rain is good when there's a great
rain is
illness.
good. Rain is good. Rain is
Okay.
good. Rain only happens when the sun is shining for us. So rain is good.
Rain is good. Okay.
Because when the sun is not shining, it's snowed and frozen. It cannot rain. It cannot rain.
Which didn't your people come from so-called Canada?
Subarctic, we're negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit.
Holy shit.
So it cannot rain unless the sun is
So
shining.
would your
So-
people fall under the umbrella of Inuit?
Mm-mm. They're related. There's two Inuit. One is Athabascan, completely unrelated. Another one, Greenland, Inuit, which are the Skraelings that the Vikings met.
Okay.
And then there is a Inu, which are cousins of ours. And we're the EU.
All right.
So we're all in the same, the Inuit, Inu, EU, are all the same language family.
Okay.
How's that? Interesting, huh?
That is. See,
And that's the Viking connection that the Skraelings came and told us.
this is why
They told
I
us
love,
that they had come. Yeah.
this is why I love talking to you, because
Mhm.
there's not enough indigenous voices.
Mm-mm.
And ultimately what I'd love to get is indigenous people from all corners of the globe.
Mhm.
Because there's groups that people don't talk about enough, like indigenous people of Australia and indigenous
Uh-huh.
people of Nippon or Japan or
Nippon. Mhm.
yeah, or
I knew.
Shipangu, if you will.
Shipangu. Mhm.
Um
Siberia. Correct.
and some people
Yeah.
have tried to, of all people, fucking Hayao Miyazaki has tried to bring attention to them. If you've ever watched, for anyone in chat, if you've ever watched Princess Mononoke, the people represented in that movie are the indigenous people of Shipangu. At least some of them are. And a lot of people don't realize that there were indigenous people of the islands of Shipangu.
Mhm.
And then there were people who were colonists. And that the
Mhm.
majority of the culture represented now is that of colonists, not of indigenous Japanese people.
True.
And then, of course, you have Turtle Island. and
Turtle
you know
Island
what,
was-
for that matter, the Celtic indigenous people of,
Yeah.
it was interesting to me that for a lot of people watching the show Letterkenny was their first introduction to the fact that the story of St. Patrick or the Pied Piper was really about the indigenous people of England and Scotland and Ireland and Wales. People who were naturalist or primalist and had a strong connection with the land, contrasted with the heavy industrial people of London.
Yeah. Celtics were also animists, and so were the Vikings. And that's what we all have in common with Australian Aboriginals, North
shit.
American hunter-gatherers, and Celts and Vikings. We're all animists. So as many people in India. The Shi.
Let me people are chatting with me in chat, so I didn't scroll down and read that. Some person mentioned the Edda, and I know a little bit about that. The Edda is interesting.
The Edda and the sagas and the Eddas. Yeah.
It appears in two forms, prose and poetic.
Yes. Yes.
I
yes,
know
it
that.
does.
There
The
are three
skaldic verse.
versions.
Skaldic verse in the Edda.
And someone mentioned that in Germany there is a Nikolaus Day, which is the 6th of December. And Christmas is different. Sorry, people whose chat I did not see until now. But yes, and yeah, the tri-omni trait is essentially part of the Platonic legacy present in Christianity. I was raised in Christianity, and while I found the lore very interesting, I found the religious practice extremely off-putting.
Yeah.
And so what that did is that led to me having a joy of researching religion, but definitely keeping ultra-religious types at arm's reach. And to me, it's very interesting as well, because I have some people in chat who I know of, who are friends, who are people who are who were raised Russian Orthodox, some people who were raised Catholic, some people who were raised Church of England, for that matter. Because keep in mind, Church of England was a retaliation against the Catholic Church. Church of England is what established the crown as the head of state and head of church, as opposed to what was a orthodox form of Christianity previously via the Catholic Church. Listen, everybody. I need to take a quick bio because I've had 2 bottles of champagne. So,
Whoa.
Feel free to chat with UD for a moment.
Oh, sure.
While I disappear. And I swear it'll be like less than 2 minutes. I'll be right back.
I can chat with the Twitch chat, but I think your other chat is YouTube. He's got 2 chats. Yeah, I love Carr. Oh my gosh. His love of history is so refreshing. You know? And his voice, of course, is great, but his mind, you know, I mean, he's such a delight. It's ridiculous. And it's so nice. This is a wonderful way to bring in the new year. Talk Wordy checked in, Anarchy checked in, and Carr checked in, and Eeyore is in our chat. So all 4. And Gina. Perfect. It's a great way to start the new year. He streams in the music category. Okay, that makes sense. Eddas and sagas. You know that? Do you know the Eddas, don't you, Orchid? The Norse corpus of stories. You have Saga Loki's saga.
Ugh.
It's where all the stories of the whole Viking cosmology comes from, the whole Norse mythology. The Eddas are more... They're less...
Hold on.
They're a little more
Putting
secular.
My earpiece in.
You know?
Okay.
And like the sagas go back before Odin ascends to the throne.
Alright, we're back.
We're talking about Eddas
Did we
and
hit
sagas.
Norse? Alright.
Yeah, Eddas and sagas.
Even as a young buck, I thought Norse was really cool because, you know, you talk about Valhalla, the great mead hall in the sky.
Yep.
You get to wake up every day and go to battle.
And then
you come back to the mead hall and get drunk.
And then you do it again.
And then you do it again because that is the ideal for a Norseman. Battle and drink.
Pretty much. That's it.
And I remember arguing with someone talking about Christianity. Like, you understand that there's more evidence for fucking Odin than the Christian God, right?
Yes. Well, that's true.
And I like the idea of Ratatoskr, messenger of the gods.
Oh. Okay.
The idea being is, what if he decided to start reading the messages? And that's how he became intelligent.
Yep. But then he had also, Odin had Hugin and Moon and memory and...
Now, if I'm not mistaken, he basically willingly gave up his eye.
Yep.
For wisdom.
For wisdom. He wanted to read the runes. Yeah. wanted to read the future, knowledge. And so he hung at the well where the little Nibelung Darkling well keeper told him it would cost you his eye. And his eye, he stared into it and he threw his eye down there and he could see his eye looking back up at him. And
Whoa.
and then up from the well came bubbled up the rune stones carved. And he got off the tree and put them in order, and that's how he could divine the future. Yeah.
He had
amazing.
his spear.
Yeah, yeah,
and
it is.
he had a 6-legged horse,
Sleipnir.
and he could command crows.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The ravens.
The ravens. He could command ravens.
Hugin and Munin were his advisors, 2 crows.
Oh. Okay. Now, there's something to that. Ravens are historically known as eating what is dead.
Mm-hmm.
So, why would Odin, the Allfather, command that which eats which is dead?
Because they can communicate with the underworld.
Oh. Okay.
Now remember the giants and the
Niflheim.
Niflheim, right? And they are accepted and received everywhere.
See? I know my shit.
Yep, where the Nibelung live. Exactly.
Oh shit, this bottle.
And he
is
had to
empty.
keep his eye literally on everyone. So that's how he did it.
Which, it's funny, a while back, there was some controversy that came out with how they portrayed Thor in a video game as having a gut. And I'm just like, you understand this guy was known for excess. Thor was known for being very well fed and very well drank. And he loved to drink and to eat. And that maybe, just maybe, Norse gods, their ideal vision didn't look like a physically fit 10% body fat or an 8% body fat bodybuilder. They were known to drink and fight and eat. You know, one of their hobbies was wrestling pigs.
Mm-hmm.
And that gets a whole other interesting tangent. Pigs. Pigs are one of the most interesting beings.
Oh, they are. They're very intelligent.
And everything people find gross about pigs is due to human intervention. Pigs used to wander wooded forests and sift through roots to look for things to eat. It's only when we put them in cities with nothing to forage for that they were forced to eat waste and wallow in mud because they were out of the shade. Because they can't sweat.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, you joined me on a drunken stream, so my tangents
No,
are
this is a good one.
off the wall.
They're perfect. We're going all over the world, like Hugin and Munin. We're going all over the world.
We should. I think
Yeah.
that the voices of the indigenous European people are also underrepresented, vastly underrepresented. I would love it if there were more Celtic streamers to tell us about the druidic ways of their people.
Mm-hmm.
And to tell us about pre-Christianity. And to tell us about... Uh-oh. Something just happened. Dave Outlandish just fucking supered me again. So I gotta find my other bottle. Stand by, I see it. Oh. Rolly chair. Whoa! Here we go. Jesus! My earpiece came out.
Uh-oh.
Here. Alright. Thank you, Dave Outlandish, for the super. So right now, what we've got here is, because I'm a sucker for great marketing, there's my brand of gin is Hendrix, and they release seasonal flavors that are limited. And right now, the flavor that I still have some of is called Orbium. I'm holding up to screen, or it's called Lunar. Excuse me, that was the last flavor, Orbium. This is called Lunar. And when you try to inquire what it's infused with, it just says, from our cabinet of curiosities, infused with natural oils of the night.
Of the night. Wow.
So,
What is that?
let me read the back and see
You
what
gotta
they.
drink it and find out, right?
It's mostly I've drank a lot of it. I'm sorry. I'm too spinny to read the back of the bottle. So here we go.
Oh
Bottoms
no.
up.
There you
Woo!
go, get some water. Whoop woot.
And then I need to scroll down chat again.
I hate when I get spinny. You totally can't read. You can talk, but you can't read.
Someone asked me if I'm a fan of the channel Esoterica. I'm not familiar. I'm careful with esoteric channels just because you run into esoteric fascists. Like, I encountered a Hoppian in the wild, and I didn't think that was something that was really existed. I didn't think esoteric fascists were a thing. And one Rappy, das little bitch, says, also true. I think all the time about the story where Thor disguises himself as Freya, while Loki was just Loki. Thor was kept referred to as he, while Loki was she in the same story.
True.
Now the idea is that Freya was supposed to be beautiful, right? Like,
Graced, I think.
yes.
Graced.
Freya, the viewer in my channel, says there's a YouTuber who makes Celtic Reconstructionist content. Ali.
That
Now,
sounds like fun.
listen, y'all, if you start talking about Celtic stuff, I openly admit I'm going to butcher the pronunciation. For instance, I know there's a figure in Celtic culture named Cuchulainn. His name is not spelled that way in English. It's because the anglicized spelling is all wrong. Same
Colin.
with Finn McCool.
Yeah.
Or Cuchulainn. If I'm not mistaken, Cuchulainn was the dude with the... No, Finn McCool was the dude with the fucking spear.
Mm-hmm.
The special spear that sent spines through all of the veins of his foes and had him... And told his troops to strap him to a stone so that he would not fall in front of his enemies, even as he was bloodied and failing in his health because he had fought so long. And he literally asked to strap him to a stone so he could remain upright and continue swinging his sword.
Mm-hmm.
That shit's badass.
Yeah. Oh, there's the famous Viking. I can't remember his name. He's the one. His name was translates well. I think is Hewer, and somebody came with a halberd and cut his leg off below the knee. So he hopped to a stump and he hatcheted the stump and carved the burrow there, and he burrowed his stub into the stump so he could remain standing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's badass.
Yeah.
So you can continue to fight.
Just continue to fight.
And,
Screw it.
And like I said, there's a lack of those voices in this. Now, and when I first encountered you on Twitch, you had said that you were trying to bring a different energy to indigenous streamers because a lot of them were just very angry or very sad.
The tradition and the scope of us and how we're interconnected. You know?
Thank you, Jennifer Love Screw It, by the way, for the Happy New Year from
grimly.
California. I just realized we just hit 3 a.m. So California and the West Coast in general is celebrating There, Happy New Year now. Normally, if I'm still awake, I tune in to the Vegas ball drop to get the West Coast, but I decided to go live instead. And
Oh, your mic's muted now.
what? Hey, okay, here we are. I don't know how that happened. Shit, now I wonder how much I said that you didn't hear.
Something about bringing a different energy to indigenous streamers.
Oh, yeah, okay, I didn't say much more than that. I must have bumped the mouse. All right. Yeah, one of my viewers said Happy New Year from California. All of the West Coast, since it's 3 a.m., just hit their New Year.
Happy
So,
New
Happy
Year.
New Year. Normally, I watch the Las Vegas, Nevada ball drop. I missed it this year, but because I'm streaming. But Happy New Year to everyone on the West Coast.
I love it on the East Coast because you get to see New Year's 3 times.
Yes, you do.
Yep.
Which,
That's fantastic.
by then, if I'm not mistaken, Sydney, Australia, has already had their New Year.
In Europe.
And Europe has already had theirs, so I want to say London and Berlin and
Poland.
and Barcelona
Barcelona.
has already had theirs,
hmm
and I don't know the capital of Italy, but because memory escapes me.
Oh my God, Florence?
Florence. Is it Florence?
Hmm.
Really? Florence?
We should all know the freaking capital of Italy. Holy crap. Oh my God. Venice.
Yes.
How embarrassing. I know.
Well, listen, here's the thing.
Florence,
I
really.
only know a little bit about Europe, and if we talk about the Dutch, I'm pretty antagonistic towards the Dutch, so fuck the Dutch.
Oh yeah, Netherlands.
Netherlands probably already had theirs, but seriously, fuck the
Nederlanden.
Dutch. The Nederlanders.
Nederlanden. All my overseas little Jamily came in. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I say fuck
every-
the
every
Dutch.
hour
I'm
we
referring
got-
to the nation, not the people.
We got Happy New Year from Lebanon, the Netherlands, Poland.
Yeah, I realized we hit the
Yugoslavia.
Middle East as well.
Yep, and then the UK. We didn't get anything from Australia. But we got Pakistan.
Oh yeah,
Checked in.
Pakistan. I saw
Pretty
you
cool.
hit a number of streamers, so
Yeah. Oh
you
yeah.
got a few different hits there.
Yeah, we have the whole list of streamers we support and follow, and our Goodwill tour. We just went to as many of them as we could get to, and it was a great time.
And I think you even hit Vietnam.
One time?
You went to EJ and Luna.
Luna was there in my chat with us.
Nice.
I know. That was so cool. But we went non-compete, yeah? Yeah, EJ and Luna, we went to non-compete.
Non-compete. They're
Radical Maniac, Ricky the Great, Dream On Music, Riverboat Jack, Prime Kai, Demon Mama Live, Critically Thinking Better. We went through all of them. The only one we didn't go over to was Supreme.
Supreme.
I think he's on there with Cherry right now.
Ah, gotcha.
Maybe he was. Oh no, they're not even on now.
Dave Outlandish, thank you again for the latest super that said, "We drunk now?" Okay.
Yeah, we drunk now.
We are drunk. To the point where I don't know. I will tell you all in advance when that certain point hits me where I'm just like, okay, I'm concerned that I'll start saying some awful shit on stream, or it might just pass out. That's when I will cut the feed.
When you start saying stupid shit on the mic, it's time to go.
Oh, I've been saying stupid shit for over an hour, but if I'm... Listen, I say stupid shit all the time.
Me
but
too.
The fact of the matter is that as long as I don't say TOS shit,
Yeah.
that's where it becomes an issue.
Yeah. Oh, were you here for last New Year's on Twitch?
I was not.
Oh my
I
god.
did not stream on New Year's.
That was like That was the best thing ever. Oh my god. All the political streamers were so unbelievably wasted. And they were all co-streaming. And $27 was um, capturing the feeds
Oh
for
wow.
everybody. Because he's a bartender, so it was perfect.
Nice.
And so the bartender from Glasgow was over there capturing the feeds. Like it was a TV set in the bar from all over the Twitchosphere, and it was, oh my god, oh, and it was, everybody was like, you know, when they finally did wake up, like 2 days later, they were so deleting all those VODs. Holy crap! Oh my god, it was funny, and it was like, oh, we're so clipping this. Holy shit!
Oh hell yeah.
Holy shit! The one guy, it was Frames.
Oh, I know Freems.
And he was so drunk that his body was just on the floor and he was propped up against his couch with like 25 people in his house.
Damn.
And he could not move at all. His head was all the way back on the couch. And then every now and then he'd lift his head up and he'd go, I love all you guys.
I'm not that bad yet.
And his wife comes around in front of him to, like, she goes, we're streaming, and he lifts his head up and he goes, oh, fuck all these people, fuck all this Twitch, fuck all this shit. What are you doing? Why am I? And she had the camera, so she turned it to get, you know, horizontal, and then she flipped the phone over, so he was looking at himself upside down, and he tilts his head and he goes, am I upside down? Somebody help me get up. Oh my god, I'm upside down. Am I on my head? He was so drunk.
No,
And they captured that. That was his stream.
I'm
and it was
probably
clipped.
gonna cut it soon, just because I don't want to get to that point. where I get
Exactly.
ridiculous. Now, here's the God's honest truth. Before I get ridiculous, I'd probably just doze off. So, here's what I will say in conclusion. I had a bunch of different ideas on what I would do if I was here doing drunken shenanigans on stream, but I am happy that the best to come of it was shenanigans with you, UD. You're one of the few really good friends that stuck with me over 2021.
Absolutely.
So, Dave Outlandish, you've been a great viewer during stream. Rappy, das little bitch, you've been great during stream. Salute. Chaya Bat Zvi, salute. Agreed. There's a stink bug walking across my screen. Ohio State bird. I don't know where all these stink bugs come from. But listen, everybody, I'm going to call it here. And you all have a great 2022. Thank you for sticking with me this long. Thank you.